Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Janice. It's the countdown to the new year. It's almost the new year, which is freaking insane to me. This year literally flew by, you guys. So you know, with the end of the year comes end of the year favorites. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my favorite eyeshadow palettes of 2018. As you know, eyeshadow palettes are literally one of my favorite things about makeup. I love eyeshadow palettes. These are not going to be all palettes that launched in 2018, but I'm going to include them if I fell in love with them in 2018 and use them over and over again. I did do a get ready with me look on this look. If you're interested, that should be up before this is up, so I'll go ahead and link it down below in the description box and also in the cards. So I'm going to start with my smaller palettes first. The first one is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette. It looks like this. So I got this from TJ Maxx earlier in the year and I fell in love with this. This is in the shade Rust. So it just comes with 4 different colors and a little mirror. It's literally your basic neutrals that you could use for any kind of look. You have kind of like this pinky shade right here that you could use to kind of set your eye primer in place, or if you use concealer like I do, you can use this to kind of set that in place. You can use it on your brow bone. And then you have like this dark brown chocolate color that'll be great to deepen up an eye look. For more fun, you have like this orange rustic color that'll also be great. And then you have this really nice brow bone highlights. I feel like you have the essentials kind of with this palette. I love this. I take this anytime I go somewhere, which is not too often. I fell in love with this palette this year. I've used this so much. The shades are very pigmented. I forgot how much I paid for this in TJ Maxx. I think it was $9.99. I also love doing like one color eyeshadow looks with this little palette. I'm so happy I have this in my collection. The next little palette we have here is the ColourPop Make Up Your Mind shadow palette. If I'm not mistaken, I think this did launch this year. If I'm not mistaken, this little palette was like their viewer's choice palette. I believe they had like a poll on their Instagram or something like that, and the viewers kind of picked their shade. I must have missed that. First of all, I love the packaging of it. It's very stargazing and all of that good stuff. And then you open it up and it has 6 shadows in here. They're all shimmer, so there's no matte shadows in this palette. I think you have a nice variety of different colors to do many different looks. My favorite shades in this is actually this top row right here. The teal, the yellow gold, and the purple I've used so freaking much. Especially the yellow gold is my favorite color out of the whole palette. This palette is just so freaking pigmented. Like, I'm gonna... You guys see that? Like, how freaking gorgeous is that? I love the shades in here. And I love that it's so little and compact because you could take it literally everywhere with you. The only color I haven't really got a lot of use out of is the silver color right here. And that's just because I don't really do silver looks. Maybe I need to step out of my comfort zone and try it. Paid $12 for this palette. This is one of my favorite palettes for sure out of the whole year. So the next little palette that I love is a colorful one. This is the NYX Ultimate Bright palette. I fell in love with this year. I think these palettes retail for like $17.99 or something like that. I use this out. Like, I use this so much, it's ridiculous. I love all of these shades in here. Some of these brighter shades up here, it's really hard to make those and make them super pigmented. These are not the most pigmented bright shadows, but I think for the drugstore and for the price, I think they do a really good job. These are very good shadows, especially if you're on a budget and you want like a bright palette. This is very worth the money. I love all of the shades in here and they all perform really well, very buildable. Anytime I go for a bright look, I always go to this first because you have so many options. So next we have the ColourPop Ooh La La palette, which I just recently got during Black Friday, so I haven't had it that long, but literally I can't stop using it, you guys. Looks like this. It is a 9-pan palette, comes with a mirror, which is great, and then you have these shades right here. So this is a very pinky purpley palette and I've been using this non-stop. All of the shades in here are exquisite. They perform so freaking good. This palette is so pigmented. I love the ratio to kind of shimmer to matte shades as well in this palette. You can do so many looks with this palette. I am planning on doing a look with this palette, so you know it's coming, I promise you. So many video ideas that it's like hard to think. This palette is really great. I think ColourPop hit it out the park with this palette, so I definitely have been loving this. Even though I've only had it for like a month, it still has been my baby, and I definitely wanted to mention this in this video. So I'm gonna start off with ColourPop. So I have 2 ColourPop palettes that I've been really enjoying this year. The first one is the Kathleen Lights and ColourPop Dream Treat palette. I think this is one of ColourPop's best palettes that they've ever done, from the color scheme to the formula. It's really great. I really love this palette. The color scheme is really amazing. You have so many neutral colors to do like everyday eyeshadow looks, but then you also have these really amazing pop of colors that this palette is kind of like universal. You could use it in the fall, winter, spring, summer. The color that I love so much out of this palette is this pinky one right here. Like, this color looks amazing all over the lid as a one color eyeshadow look. I've been really into using one color on my eyes and just blowing it out all over, and it just looks amazing. I really love this teal blue shade right here. This retails for $16. And then the next ColourPop palette is actually a holiday release from 2017. It's the All I See Is Magic palette, and I love this palette so much. I've been using this all the time. Like, this is one of my favorite palettes. Once again, I really love the color scheme of this palette. The only thing I think is missing is like more of a deeper brown shade. You have this one up here, but I wish it was more of a deeper chocolatey one. But other than that, this palette is perfection. All of these shades are gorgeous. I've been loving this palette this year. First one is the color Rain Queen of Hearts palette. Now, y'all should know I love this palette so much. It is so gorgeous. All of these shades are literally perfection. I think you have a nice range of, once again, neutrals to like those pop of colors. You could do everyday looks like with the gold and these browns, or you could do some fun pop of colors like this. Every single shade in here is so buttery, so creamy, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. Color Rain so far makes my favorite formula of eyeshadows. They're so pigmented, so buttery, and I really love that you can make a whole entire look with this palette. You have some brow bone colors up here, you have some crease colors with these browns and oranges, and then you have all of these lid colors. Like, this palette is really cohesive. If you wanted to just take one palette on a trip, you could definitely take this. So I love this palette. This is a more pricier palette. This palette retails for $50, but the quality is so worth it. But yeah, definitely love this year. Next, we're going to talk about one of my favorite releases from the year. And I think this release was so underrated because it was pretty much the best, in my opinion, one of the best YouTuber and a brand collaboration of the year. And that was the Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne Kaleidoscope Dream Palette. Once again, I think they nailed it with the packaging. If I'm not mistaken, I think Kristen said that they actually melted a bunch of lipsticks and like swirled them around, and that is actually the packaging picture, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what she said. I think what turned a lot of people off about this palette was how it's packaged, but for me, I think it's very creative and unique. I've used every single shade in this palette. I've used these colors right here are transformer colors, so if you put them on top of any of these colors, it's going to transform it into another shade. This black right here is my favorite black of all time because it's super matte and super black, and it's phenomenal. So I think, to me, this is one of my favorite collabs with the YouTuber. I think she did really well. The pigmentation on this is amazing. So buttery, so creamy. Also came with like a little brush as well. I will forever have this. I reach for this a lot. Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne palette you can no longer get. So you can no longer get this one, but it was bomb. So lastly, we're going to talk about 3BH Cosmetics palette. I'm going to try and hurry up because my battery is low on my camera. The first one though is the BH Cosmetics and It's My Ray Ray palette. This is also another good collaboration. I think this came out this year. I think BH and It's My Ray Ray did an amazing job on this palette. It is like a trifold palette. It comes with the mirror, your shadows here, you have some highlighters and some contours. Now these shadows are freaking amazing. This is another palette that is super cohesive, where you could do any kind of eye look with, because you have so many different shimmer shades and so many different matte shades. And I feel like BH Cosmetics has really stepped up their formula because these shades are amazing. My favorite part of this palette though are the highlighters. These highlighters are amazing. This one actually fell over here. It's actually one of my favorite ones, and I had to like repress it. So creamy, so buttery, and oh, it's just so awesome. Look at that. So gorgeous. Now the only thing I'm not really hype about that I never really use from the palette are the contours, just because I feel like none of these shades fit me. This one is way too light. This one is like the same color of my skin tone, and this one is like way too dark, so I never ever use the contour shades. Other than that, this palette is great. The pigmentation is amazing. The It's My Ray Ray palette is $22.50. One of my favorite go-to palettes. Next, we have another release by BH Cosmetics. I think this released this year as well. This is the Desert Oasis palette, one of my favorites. So pretty. This is pretty much an all shimmer palette. You get 1, 2, 3, I think 4 mattes in here, and the rest are shimmers and highlighters. But it's so gorgeous. I love this palette. You have your highlighters over here, which they are all stunning. The formulation of this palette is amazing. Like, they're formulated so freaking well. I think BH Cosmetics knocked it out of the park with this palette. This is literally one of my favorite palettes. I pull this out pretty much in every single look that I do. I want to do a look with this blue right here because it's so stunning. But yeah, this is awesome. The highlighters are amazing. This is just amazing. Okay, I think this retails for $22 if I'm not mistaken. So then the last palette is the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette, which was so freaking good. I actually have a 2 looks 1 palette first impression on this, so I'll link it in the cards and down below. This is how it looks. It comes with all of these amazing shades right here, all bomb. So you have your baked shimmer shades, and then your matte shades, and then you get a highlighter in the middle. All of these are so pretty, so gorgeous, so pigmented. They work so good. They blend out amazing. Like I said, when I say BH Cosmetics has literally stepped their cookies up, they've come out with so many amazing palettes this year. So many more I want to get. This is definitely one of their best palettes in my opinion. You need this. You need all of these palettes that I'm talking about. And all of these palettes I'm talking about are literally so affordable. That's it for me. My camera's gonna die, so I have to make this quick. Those were my favorite eyeshadow palettes of 2018. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Okay, bye.